Welcome to another episode of Tuesday Trivia. This is Kumar Singh from Design Analytics LLC. The question, the answer to which we will discuss in today's episode of Tuesday Trivia is: how important is hardware in the current AI revolution? As you can imagine, there is no yes or no answer to this question, like some of the other questions that we have discussed in this video series, right? Excuse me. So we will kind of elaborate on the elaborate answer here, right? But I think I can start with a short answer and then kind of expand upon it. Well, the answer to the question, how important is hardware in the current AI revolution? The answer to that is very, very important. Right? Before we start expanding on this short answer, let me show you something. Do you know, with decent coding skills, right, you can actually build an LLM if you have a decent system, like not your company laptop. You can build your own LLM, and I have tried it few times, right, in few different ways. You can see one example here, right? This LLM obviously is nothing as compared to the large language models out there. So obviously the idea is not to replicate those large language models, but to kind of show that at a very, very, very small scale, like exponentially small scale as compared to those models, they can be built, right, by individuals as well, right? But the models that are out there are obviously much more advanced in terms of like the size of parameters and the various customizations, right, that keeps on happening, which is why many of these models are proprietary, right? There's a secret around what kind of tuning has happened, what kind of training is happening, right? So all that is what makes these models out there really powerful, right? But the reason I showed this is to show that at the core of this is a program, right? Program can be written by, I wouldn't say anyone, but experts and people with decent amount of knowledge, right? But just like programs on our personal computers, these program runs on hardware, right? These programs run on hardwares. Now, at the back end, these programs are basically math, and I have mentioned this many times before, right? So if you take a step back and try to understand where the superhuman capability of a large language model comes from, you will figure out that it's the ability to do massive amount of math in the least possible time. And where do you think this capability comes from? While you can optimize the model and the algorithm and the model in a way so that it's more efficient, it runs faster, the true fast nature of the entire solution comes from the hardware on which it runs, in a very, very simple form, not related at all with the GPUs. You can think about the RAM. The more the RAM you have on your laptop, right, the easier it is to run many applications, or some applications. If you run say a network optimization tool on your laptop, the more the RAM you have, the faster the program would run, right, because it has more resources. So the power of computing, which is basically the primary driver that allows the model, the algorithm and the model to perform millions and zillions of computations really fast, comes from the massive amount of hardware. And that is the reason you see the meteoric rise of NVIDIA, right? Because, hey, you are trying to do more, right? You are adding more users, so the computation need increases, right? This in no way undermines the importance of the algorithm and the models, the foundation models and the algorithms, the LLMs, the pre-trained transformers. But you have to understand, it's math. It's math. The parameters, right? When we keep on saying the number of parameters of a model, right? They are all the weights and biases. And what do weights and biases do? They calculate, right? So all that calculation needs to happen in split second, right? Fraction of second, microsecond, nanoseconds, for the output to seem like it's kind of in real time. So that massive computation that needs to happen needs a ton of hardware. So basically, the question that whether the current AI revolution that we are seeing, the AI boom that we are seeing, would have happened without hardware, the answer is no. And how important it is as important, if not more, than the models and the algorithms. Well, keeping it short this week, I hope you found it insightful. I will see you again on Thursday with an episode of Throwback Thursdays. Thanks for watching.